ANYNELSON-JAWORSKI. And we are here today for the Municipal Officers Electoral Board for the Village of Broadview. We have, just for the record, I am the Electoral Board Attorney and I'm from the law firm Delgaldo Law Group, and that's spelled DELGALDO Law Group. And to my left is my associate, Adrian Moons, ADRIAN MOONS. And the court reporter that we do have here today has asked that, at least for the first time, that everybody states their name, for them to state it clearly and spell it. And for the purposes of the streaming, we ask that if you are speaking, you speak into a microphone. There is the podium there that people will be able to speak into the microphone there if needed. So at this time, I will, if one of the board members could technically call the meeting to order, since I'm not a member of the board.
Call the meeting to order at 2:37 p.m.
And if everybody could please silence their electronic devices, that would be appreciated. Okay, so if it would please the board, I will go ahead and do a quick roll call. And just for the record, we do have two what's considered public members sitting with us today on the board. And the reason for that is that some of the members, the statutory members of the Electoral Board, are statutorily disqualified because they are the candidates that are being objected to. And so the board does consist of, at this time, Trustee Andrea Senior, who is the chair, because she is the second longest sitting trustee. She substitutes into the spot of the mayor, which would have been the chair. And then we have two public members with us today that were appointed by the Cook County Judge Maureen Ward Kirby, MAUREEN WARD KIRBY. And the two public members we have here today with us are Laura Jacksack, LAURA, Jacksack, JACK SACK, and Al Swanson, AL.
Technically, it's Alfred,
Alfred.
ALFRED.
Okay. And Swanson, SWANSON?
Correct.
Thank you. And so at this time, I would ask the board to, I would ask first, has the board approved the rules? Or has the board reviewed the rules?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I would ask at this time if the board could make a motion, and I would ask that it either be Member Swanson or Member Jacksack to approve the rules.
I move we approve the rules as presented to us.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And also at this time, we do have the chair who is attending remotely, as I understand it, because she has prior work obligations, but given the expedited nature of these proceedings, she was able to attend remotely. So if we could have a motion to allow for the remote attendance of Member Andrea Senior due to work obligations.
I move approval of remote participation for Ms. Senior.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Chair Senior, would you like me to introduce the cases?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The first case that we will be calling is Dempsey versus Broadview People's Party, 25 MOEB 01. Do we have anybody here on behalf of the objector, Ms. Dempsey?
Yes, Princess Dempsey, the objector.
Okay, I just think, 1 second.
Should we get microphones? Or can we pass that microphone around?
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that the public can, so if you can restate that?
No problem. Princess, PRINCESS, Dempsey, the objector.
Okay, and for the candidates?
Matthew Welch on behalf of the candidates.
Okay, thank you very much. And so at this time, my understanding is that we do have an objection filed by Ms. Dempsey. Ms. Dempsey, would you summarize the nature of your objection?
Yes, ma'am. I have two things. You stated that, Ms. Senior, I don't know if it's, council, if it's okay, but my question is, I feel that it's a conflict of interest because Ms. Senior also circulated petitions for the Broadview People's Party and as well as signing petitions. So I'm trying to see if we can amend it because I think that's a conflict of interest and it would be kind of biased since she was a circulator on the petition as well as a signer for the petition.
So for the record,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I did forget to, thank you for reminding me of this, but earlier today, there was a letter sent by Ms. Dempsey to Judge Maureen Ward Kirby requesting that trustee Andrea Senior be removed. I will circulate that over to the board. Requesting that trustee Andrea Senior be removed, essentially for political ties, and also requesting the removal of our firm.
Absolutely.
Because we are the village attorneys, and she has made allegations related to contributions to the mayor's campaign or something like that. So we will be filing a response with the judge, and we will
Okay.
let the judge make that decision. But in the meantime, I still think that it would behoove the parties to continue to move the ball forward as it relates to any sort of motions that may be filed and any sort of records exams that may need to be ordered. Because
Okay.
these are expedited proceedings.
Absolutely.
There's nothing, in my opinion, that would occur today that would prejudice either party, because there is not going to be any sort of decision entered today.
Okay.
So that said, I would still recommend that we move forward. I would also state that it is my opinion that neither one of the issues cited by Ms. Dempsey are disqualifying issues that would disqualify either Ms. Senior or myself and my firm from the board, but we will let Judge Ward Kirby make that decision.
Absolutely.
Just an issue for clarification. Assuming that Judge Ward Kirby wants to replace Ms. Senior, going down the list of other trustees, are there any other potential conflicts down the list of trustees as they go in seniority order?
Well, the statute under Section 10-9 requires that we can only go down to the second longest sitting trustee, and that after that, then we have to go to public members. So the longest sitting trustee is trustee Judy Abraham, who is a candidate, so she can't sit on the board.
But does
So
Sheila
that's
Armour
when-
as well? She's a lone
I'm
trustee.
sorry, but,
I'm sorry.
thank you. The second longest sitting trustee is Andrea Senior. And so, and that was chosen by lot, because there was a tie between trustee Senior and trustee Miller, and there was literally a drawing done, which was videotaped, to determine who is going to be the longest, or second longest serving member. And it was determined that it was in fact Andrea Senior. We do have an objection to that was filed with Judge Ward Kirby after I had already filed a request for the two public members, which resulted in your appointment. So there is a request pending for Judge Ward Kirby. Our firm does intend to file a response to that request. Objectors counsel, candidates counsel also may file a response to that request if they so choose, but we will leave that up to Judge Ward Kirby to make that decision.
Can I also move this into motion with the council that I have? There you go, sir. So we can respond to it? Basic. Exactly. Absolutely, sir. That was what was also a restatement of what was said, correct.
Okay, so it deals mostly with, okay, with opposition to us
Exactly.
being the attorneys.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so just procedurally, Madam Chairman, if I may, since we've already adopted the rules, we would really need a motion to reconsider. Is that right? If we were going to do anything?
I would say my recommendation as the electoral board attorney would be to review this motion or request for amendment, and then when we come back next time, if the board so wishes to amend the rules, and it's essentially asking to replace us. So I would say that one of two things can either occur. Either Judge Ward Kirby says, yes, they should be replaced, and then the rules would thus be amended with whatever attorney would get, would be replacing us. Or Judge Ward Kirby says, no, there's no basis for disqualification and there's no basis to replace these attorneys, and then everything would stay static unless, of course, the board wanted to make that change.
Yeah, so just to clarify, since I haven't seen what was sent to Judge Ward Kirby, that both parties have sort of said that the law firm was a subject of that as well, the communication to Judge Ward Kirby.
Yes.
Okay.
And we just received that this morning. In fact, I was in hearings all morning, so I do apologize that I wasn't able to get it out to anybody. I will send this over right now. Laura, or Member Jacksack, I have your email address. I'll send that to you. And then Member Swanson, what's your email address?
Judge Swanson, 2010 @gmail.
Okay. So that should be coming over to both of you. If you don't receive it for some reason, please reach out to me and I'll resend it. And as stated, we will respond to the request of Ms. Dempsey, and there's also a similar request, or an identical request, rather, for the second objection. So we will respond to both of them in one pleading rather than two. And we'll let the judge make the decision. And like I said, also, if the candidate wants to file their own response and weigh in, they certainly can.
Also, I'm sorry, sir. Okay, we objected to the binder check as well for the signatures for the candidate for Broadview People's Party. At this time, I would like to do a motion to withdraw for the record check, so we don't have to do the binder check. So I did make a motion to withdraw from the binder check, which is the record check, which is the signatures.
So just to be clear, you are making a motion to withdraw your objections as it relates to the signatures?
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. Any objection to that?
I haven't filed my motion.
We haven't even gotten to you yet, counsel. Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Here you go, ma'am. Thank you.
So for the record, for those that weren't able to hear, there was what's commonly called a binder's check or a records check objection, basically objecting to the validity of certain signatures. My understanding is that Ms. Dempsey is withdrawing the signature objection, so then that only leaves the objection as it relates to whether somebody is,
The D1 and
Yeah,
whether they are an established political party.
correct, thank you. Do you agree with that
What is-
representation?
Right, the nomination papers, that's correct.
Okay, so
That's
it's
correct.
really paragraphs 10 and paragraphs, hold on, this is a little disjointed because of the copying issue.
Did you get it?
Bear with me one second. Okay, so paragraphs 10, 11, and 12 then.
Correct, the nomination papers, that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does the board have any objection to that withdrawal? So it'd basically be the withdrawal of paragraphs 13 through 9.
4 through
I'm
9.
sorry. 3, yeah,
Four.
3, it's supposed to be 4, it's marked 3. Well, there's 2 3s.
Sorry.
Oh, but then there is a 4 in the objection.
I'm sorry?
There is a 4 in the objection, though.
Yeah.
That begins the.
Right, but if you look on page 1, there's 2 paragraph
I see there's
3s.
2 3s, yeah, but I don't think she's withdrawing those. I think 4 starts, the nomination papers contain
Yeah.
less than the
Correct.
minimum number of signatures.
Okay,
That's what
yes,
my
you're
motion to
correct.
strike has.
I'm sorry, counsel.
You're correct. So it would be paragraphs 4 through 9.
4 through 8.
Yeah, her
4
motion
through
in
8.
writing is just 4 through 8. I mean, 9 becomes kind of surplusage, but.
Right, but I think we should include it just because it does have the incorporation. It deals with the
Well, it wasn't part of her motion,
signature.
though. I mean, if she wants to
Oh.
orally add it, but.
It's part of mine.
I couldn't hear that.
Evan,
Are you also withdrawing the appendix recapitulation sheet as it would not matter any longer?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, so does the board want to make a motion to accept the withdrawal as stated by the objector for paragraphs 4 through 9?
I will move grant the objector's motion, and so that paragraphs 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are stricken from Ms. Dempsey's objector's petition.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do a roll call on that one. Chair Senior?
Yes.
Member Jacksack?
Yes.
Member Swanson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, so then at this time, so then the only thing that remains are those two other items, the D1 and the party issue. Mr. Welch, do you have anything that you would like to state?
Yeah. I'd like to provide a motion to strike the remaining allegations.
Thank you.
That they're insufficient as a matter of law.
Thank you. Here, and I'll have a copy made.
The signature's already done.
Right, so the portion of the motion to strike, there's a portion of the motion to strike that deals with the signature issue. That's been withdrawn, obviously, we can ignore that. But there's a argument that the issue of the candidates not being listed on the D1 is not a legally sufficient basis to remove them from the ballot, and it's not an infirmity of their nomination papers. And then the other issue is that this party is not an established political party, and you have attached the Cook County Clerk records, which you can take judicial notice of, that establishes all the necessary facts.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Welch at this time?
No, I think we should permit a briefing schedule on it.
That's what I was going to suggest.
And
Okay,
can
so
I
I
just
think-
say, is there any value in consolidating these matters? Because they are verbatim.
Yes.
Exact.
I would say that there would be, for the sake of judicial economy. The only difference, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the name of the objectors. I believe the objections, I mean, even honestly, the typos are exactly the same.
I would just say we haven't called the second case yet, so we haven't heard from the second objector, so I would wait for
Okay.
that. And I would say after
That's a fair
calling the
point.
second case, that could be renewed.
That's a fair point. So at this time, let's hold off on setting the briefing schedule until we call the second case, and then if the motion to consolidate is granted, then we'll do a consolidated briefing schedule, would be my suggestion. Okay.
I just have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just, sorry. He said a new political party, correct? He said, because he put down new political party, so he's stating that they're a new political party? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would suggest that, I mean, his.
I mean, I'm
his-
just saying, I'm reading his
His
motion.
brief speaks for itself, and you will need to file a response based upon the motion that he's filed.
Okay, so I do have a
'Cause
motion.
we're not doing oral argument at this time right now.
No, I'm not doing oral
So-
argument, but I do have another filing.
Sure.
I do have another filing since we're doing a brief. Sorry. Regarding the new political party.
So I believe they're going to set a briefing schedule for us, and you can raise all those issues.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's exactly what I was trying to say, is that we're going to set a
Okay.
briefing schedule. You'll be able to raise those in writing. That'll
Absolutely.
give the board members time to digest all the briefing on it, and then we'll come
Absolutely.
back sometime next week
Okay.
to have a full hearing on it.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
All right.
So then, at this time, I think that they're, I think it's the same.
I don't have a copy of that yet.
You give me another one? Okay, so at this time, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call the Patterson case, because as stated, they are similar, or identical, rather, and there might be some benefit to consolidating them, so I would say at this time, let's go ahead and call the Patterson case. Does the board have any objection to that?
No, I just want to confirm that neither party has any other motions to file on the Dempsey case.
Good point. Oh, okay, so your response will be part of your briefing schedule?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem. Okay, so calling Patterson versus Broadview People's Party, 25 MOEB 02. Is the objector present?
Yes, the objector is present. Angela Patterson, A-N-G-E-L-A, Patterson, P-A-T-T-E-R-S-O-N.
Okay, thank you. And is candidates council present?
Yes, Matthew Welch for the candidates.
Okay, I'm sorry, just going back really quick, I apologize for this. On the Dempsey case, Ms. Dempsey, have you given a copy of your appearance to Mr. Welch?
They have.
Okay, and I
Both.
also need an appearance filed with the board, too. And same thing for you, Ms. Patterson. We do have some extra, some
You
blank.
know what, if I can, they gave me an appearance, if you want to make photocopies of them.
We could do that, that's fine. Either one. You can use those blank ones if you want, or we can have copies made. I was just, wanted to make sure we got that on the record.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Patterson, as we discussed earlier, and you were present for this, Ms. Dempsey's objection is identical essentially to yours. Are you likewise withdrawing the signature-based objections, or are you proceeding with those?
Yes, I withdraw.
You will withdraw those? Okay.
Yes.
So I guess at this time, for the sake of expediting things, we would need a similar motion to withdraw paragraphs 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and to strike those from the objection.
I move we accept that, approve that motion, withdrawing from Ms. Patterson's petition paragraphs 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Second.
I'll do a roll call for this one. Member Jacksack?
Yes.
Member Swanson?
Yes.
Chair Senior?
yes,
Okay, motion carries. All right, so that, and then that just leaves the remaining two objections related to the D1 as well as the party question. Mr. Welch, are you also filing a motion to strike and dismiss on this one?
Once, yes,
That's fine.
it's the same issues as discussed earlier.
Thank you.
One short, sorry. Maybe two.
We got you running around today, getting your steps. Okay, so for the record, Mr. Welch has filed a motion to strike and dismiss the objector's petition. As discussed, the signature objections are no longer in play, so we will ignore that portion of the motion, and we'll be looking at the other portion. So at this time, I think it would be appropriate to give consideration to Mr. Welch's request to consolidate these matters for the purpose of briefing. We will still issue separate decisions because they are separate objectors, but at least for the purpose of briefing, I think it would be for the, I think it would be in line with judicial economy to consolidate them.
I will make the motion to consolidate these two cases, 25 MOEB 01 and 2025 MOEB 02, for purposes of briefing on any motions that are pending or that may be filed in the future.
Thank you.
In the nature of discussion, do we know if there's any objection by either of the objectors to this?
Is there any objection to consolidating these for the purpose of briefing? Basically, you guys would just file a joint response to.
No objection.
Okay. And I second.
Thank you. All right, so we have a motion by Member Swanson, a second by Member Jacksack. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Motion carries. Okay, so now we have to discuss a briefing schedule. Ms. Dempsey and Ms. Patterson, how much time will you need to respond? And just keep in mind that, these are expedited proceedings. We usually have, it's usually about 1, 2, maybe 3 days at the most.
48 hours.
48 hours?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we make it do, so we're not doing like at 3:01, you got to file a brief. Why don't we say 5 PM on the 5th? Does that work? Or,
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry? So we'll go over that in a second.
Okay.
But let's figure out the timing first. And Mr. Welch, how much time would you need for a reply brief, if any? 24 hours. 24 hours? Okay, so we'll do a response due by 5 PM on the 5th. Is that okay with the board?
Be the 6th.
No, response by 5 PM at the 6th, and then reply due on the 6th at 5 PM. Is that good with the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk, thank you.
The 6th.
Let's talk hearing. Member Senior, what's your availability next week?
I'm open next week.
Okay. And board members, what days would work for you next week for a hearing?
The afternoon of the 10th or any time on the 11th.
I could do the afternoon of the 10th. I can't do the 11th at all.
Okay, yeah, the 11th might be a little tight for me as well. Mr. Welch, how does the 10th?
So, I'm in Westchester Board meeting down the street, the 10th at 6 PM, so early enough that I can get to that board meeting.
Okay, so does the 10th, afternoon on the 10th work for you guys?
Yes.
Okay, do we want to do 3 PM on the 10th? Will that give you plenty of time to get to, I don't think that it'll
Maybe
take.
too much time.
We'll do 4 PM?
4 would be, I think. would be
4
ideal.
PM, does that work for the board members?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and objectors, that works for you guys as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so at that time, we will, at that time, by that time, rather, the matter will be fully briefed. The board will consider any oral arguments at that time, just for the sake of, for the sake of the objectors who are pro se, just to give you a little information as to how this would work. So when you, make sure to review the rules. The rules do talk about how to serve everybody. Notice of filing is required in certificate of service, so that it shows, yes, you did serve everybody, and you detail who you served. You also need to make sure to send it to the other side, so you need to send everything to Candidates Council, as well as to me, the Electoral Board Attorney. And I'll give you my email address. That is Jaworski, JAWORSKI, @DLGlawgroup.com. And I also ask that you copy my associate, that's to my left here, Adrian. His email address is MOONS, 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 Moons. I should have just probably said that one, at DLGlawgroup.com. And then once I receive that, then I will distribute it to the board members. So you just need to file it with 2 people, just with them and with me. And then, once you file yours, then Attorney Welch will file his reply, he'll distribute it to everybody, and then we will come here and hold the hearing. Now, the order of proceedings is the movant gets to go first. So that means Mr. Welch will get to speak first, you both will get to have a response opportunity, and then he gets a reply opportunity. After that, it's up to the board as to whether they want to allow any other comments, questions, or anything like that at that point. Do either the objectors or the Candidates Council have any questions on this?
No.
No.
Does the board have any questions or anything?
Ms. Senior does.
No, I think she, do you have any questions, Member Senior?
No question.
Okay. And Member Swanson, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Member Jackson?
No.
Okay, I think that that is all for today.
I just noticed on the agenda then, on our agenda, we say that we have an opportunity for public comment. I want to stick to
Oh,
the
yes,
agenda
I'm
and make
sorry.
sure if there's any-
Thank you. And, actually, you reminded me of one other thing. I wanted to really quickly mark some exhibits and put those exhibits into the record. So if we could just very quickly go through that. For case number 25, EB01, the exhibits will be, Exhibit A will be the petitions filed by the Broadview People Party. Exhibit B will be the objections. Exhibit C would be the rules. Exhibit D, the call. Exhibit E would be the letter requesting public members that was sent by me. Exhibit F would be the order from Judge Ward Kirby appointing public members. And Exhibit G will be the letter sent by Ms. Dempsey and Ms. Patterson, or if Ms. Dempsey for the purposes of this case. And then similarly, for the case ending in 02, it would be all the same exhibits, with the exception of Exhibit G would be the letter by Patterson to Judge Ward Kirby. Is that agreeable to the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If we can just have a motion to accept the marking of those exhibits.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Then at this time, I would ask for a motion to recess this hearing.
Hold on, I
to-
want to, still public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting about the public. Sorry, I'm a little low on sleep today, I apologize. Are there any members of the public that would like to make comment? Okay, there being no members of the public here to make public comment, I would ask for a motion to recess the hearing to December 10th at 4 PM.
I move that we recess this hearing as of this time until December 10th at 4 PM in this same room in the Broadview Village Hall.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you.